it's like I said on stream the other night, right? Like it doesn't matter how many times you get laid off in your career. It's always a gut punch. It always sucks. The first time it happens to you, it feels super personal, right? Whether you want it to or not, it feels personal. It's not. And your employer doesn't mean for it to, but it does anyway, right? There's nothing you can do about that. That is a purely emotional reaction. It sucks. It sucks balls. I'll tell you my my story about that as we get going here. Classic, are you here? Classic Lib. You were going to be around this evening, I believe. Yes? I haven't seen him. Oh, there he is in chat. He's here. Excellent, excellent. Classic, when you get a few minutes, let's do a quick early bird giveaway for these first couple of games. If you would, set me one up for 3 CC crates and 3 camos. Please, sir. I got plenty of 10.5 codes to clear out, and the 10.6 ones are already in my inbox. I got to get them out and dump them in here this weekend, okay? Thank you, sir. All right, let's get a game of Abruzzi going, and we'll get this going. No, 4BF, it's cool. Classic's got you tonight, man. You said you were going to be traveling. We got this handled. So, my very first layoff story. This will be fun. I don't count my first contract being over, right? When I worked expat from... I took a job in late 2011, November of 2011. Ooh, this is good matchmaking for us. I mean, we're middle tier, but the bottom tier carrier and plenty of things that I can shoot at. Yeah, this is not bad. This is not bad. I took an expat job. I knew when I took it I was going to be moving to Canada for at least 2 years. So I worked in the States 6 months. They moved us to Canada. We lived in Canada 30 years. When I came back, I got 3 more months in the States. And then at that point, they decided to terminate my contract. It was a contract job. And it was one of these things, it's coming, right? Now, so I don't count that, right? Like, for starters, that's the best money I've ever made in my life. And I had about 3 weeks notice that it was coming, right? Like right before Christmas, they sent me a note. It was like, hey, look, go have Christmas. When you come back, the first week of 2015, we're going to bring you back to St. John's for a week. You're going to do some handover and some transition, and then we're going to let your contract expire, and you'll be off the project. And I was like, okay. I mean, it was kind of expected. It was coming. So I don't count that. Came home. I spent about 3 weeks looking for a job, maybe 4. It was actually nice. It's a good time of year, right? January, February is a nice time of year to be in here on the Gulf Coast, right? It's generally not stupidly hot. It's not mega humid most days. I clearly remember about the 3rd week of January, right? I'm in between. I'm looking for jobs. I think I was on an interview that morning or something. Wife and I went out to lunch. We're sitting on the patio. It's 72 degrees. The sun is shining. There's a light breeze. I'm in shorts and sandals having a margarita with my lunch. And I looked at my wife and I went, just think, last year we were freezing our butts off in Eastern Canada. And we just started laughing hysterically at that. Right, I took spotter plane instead of defensive fire. Okay. Anyways, so I finally found a job. Started about mid-February that year. And no, Striker, you can keep your ice. No, thank you. Go away. I don't want your plane. I don't want your stinking torpedoes. Get them out of here. And when I took this job, it was a very small firm, 30, 40 people, very small engineering company. The president of the company interviewed me. And he's like, yeah, we like you, want to bring you on. Okay, great, no problem, awesome. And he says, now we haven't had a full-on mechanical engineer in the group for a while. He says, so we're not entirely positive what we're going to have you doing. He said, but we want one on staff. So we're going to hire you, and we're just going to see how it goes. I was like, all right, that's fair. At least he's being upfront with you, right? He's laying it out up front, like, we don't know if this is going to work, but we want you on the team. Okay, awesome. Things went pretty well for the first couple of quarters, right? We had some steady stuff going on. I took a couple of trips to South Louisiana. We looked at some barge rigs. We did some work. And finally about late June, early July, things were really getting slow. I mean, really getting slow. I remember having an argument, but kind of having a bit of a heated discussion with one of the other managers. He was like, I didn't really have anything to do, right? And so I was kind of, I had been so busy for so many years. I had kind of reached this point where I wasn't positive how to like make work for myself. What's up, Mr. October? Go break a leg, buddy. Thanks for being here. And so I was struggling a bit, and I'll never forget about the second week of September, right? About the second week of September or so. Hang on. Let's yeah. About the second week of September or so, it's a Friday afternoon. I'm getting ready to go home for the weekend. I'm standing in front of the elevator, and the president of the company comes out. Remember, it's a small company, right? So this is the same dude who interviewed me, right? And, ooh, Kagero's in the cap finally. All right, guys, try not to blunder into my torpedoes, all right? And, so I'm standing in the elevator lobby with the president of the company. And again, small company. And he's got his nose in his phone. He's staring at his phone. And I'm like, hey, Matt, how's it going? You know, everything going okay? And he kind of pauses and he looks up at me, kind of cuts me a little side glance. He's like, no, not really. He kind of takes a deep breath and he's like, if you find something else, you should probably take it. And you're like, okay. Like, that's the guy who signs your paycheck every week telling you that. It's like, oh, okay. And so literally that weekend I went home and started looking around, you know, trying to find something. A little bit of searching, right? Polish up the old resume. And it was really funny. It was really funny because literally like Tuesday, I think it was next Tuesday afternoon. I think it was a Tuesday. He calls me in his office. We're in there for something else, right? We were actually working on something. We just had some clients in, and I'd been in some meeting, and we were trying to solve whatever their problem was. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this, that, and everything." And he goes, "Oh yeah, hang on just a second." He picks up the phone and he makes a call. He calls somebody. He says, "Hey, swing by my office for a minute." Okay, so I'm sitting there across from the president of the company when like the HR representative walks in. I'm like, "Oh, I know what's about to happen." I know exactly what's about to happen, right? And so they sit down and they give me well, you probably knew this was coming. And, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it still sucks, right? It's still a kick in the guts. Man, poof. And you know, I can look back and laugh about it now, right? Like now I look back and go, man, that really sucked. But at the time it was just, that had never happened to me before, right? I'd worked 15 years as a professional, right? As an engineer, and that had never happened to me before. And it feels so awful, right? The first time it happens, it's like I said, it's like getting punched in the guts, you know? I was super proud. At the time let me think about this, was 2015, I would have been 37. So I was super proud of myself, right? I had worked a very long time in a variety of jobs, and I was super proud of the fact that I had never been laid off. This had never happened to me. And then it did. You missed a word in there, Chris, but I let it through anyway because I knew the intent was what I was going for. A lot of people would question the idea that it's frustrating to get laid. A lot of people actually would think the idea of getting laid is quite awesome, but we know what you meant. It's fine. I'm just giving you crap. But yeah, because then you start, you know, then you look back at where you are professionally, and you start to have all these questions like, well, you know, am I any good? Am I really good at what I do? Have I lost something? Have I lost a step? Have I lost the touch? Have I lost the drive or whatever it is that made me good? You start asking, you start having all these self-doubt questions. And the sad thing is, like, it's totally normal. It's totally natural. It's 100% ridiculous, but it's completely human, and it happens to you anyway, right? There's literally nothing you can do to stop it. It's gonna happen whether you want it to or not. Oh, that was a good hit on the Pensy. Let's see if I can get the AP to bite into him. He's showing me probably too much of an angle. Yeah, it's alright, we'll go back to the HE. I can full pen him with the HE. Now, I gotta be a little careful with this dude, because his AP will do mean things to me if I let it bite into me. But he's not shooting at me. He's shooting at the sign-op, which is a really bad call for him. Oh, and yeah. And Chris makes a great point, right? Like, it feels worse. Like, when the older you are when it happens to you, it feels even worse, right? Which is, again, a little bit of a misnomer, because most people, most professionals, right, as you get older and you accrue more experience, you are, by default, paid more. You're worth more money, which therefore basically makes you easier to lay off because you're so much more expensive to keep around. And so you're exactly the kind of person that the HR people or the management looks to when you're that, you know, they're like, oh, we got to cut somebody. Well, let's find the expensive guy and make him go away, right? Like, when I left that gig in Canada, one of the reasons I got cut was because I was an expat American who was being paid quite a bit of money, right? And I was more expensive to keep on the project than the Canadians, right? Which makes sense, right? They were having to pay me on top of the money I was already making. They're having to pay me to live in the country, right? That adds up quick. All right, who is that? Oh, it's the Fantask. He's up here in front of me somewhere. Let's try not to blunder into his torpedoes. That feels like that would hurt. No, Chiron, it absolutely makes no sense, but you see it happen all the time. All the time. It is so depressingly common in this business, right? It is so depressingly common in this business.
To Jurassic Park.
This Benson is going to be very, very unhappy with the state of his gunfire against this Fantask. Well, Terrace, you're talking about sports, right? Sports is completely... It's not even remotely the same as, you know, the professional world. All kinds of crap happens in the professional world that makes no sense, that you would not generally see a sports team attempt. Trust me on this. Just trust me when I tell you this, okay? Oh, I hit him. He's nearly dead. But he's alive somewhere. Try not to die, Synop. Now, we know the Ranger is down. The opposing Ranger is down here too. He'll be easy food if we can spot him. Oh, Abyss, that's a horrible... I hate that, man. I cannot... I have never... I've always thought that's like the ultimate... I'm gonna curse a little bit. It's like the ultimate dick move in the professional world. Like, we're gonna hire this guy. We want you to train him, even though he's literally going to replace you. What? Are you insane? Why would I ever do this? What possible incentive could I have to do this? Carrier's behind the island. Alright, Fantask is out. It's going to take those battleships. Every battleship they have is at the top end of the map. Our North Carolina is dead. It's going to take them a few minutes to reorganize. In the meantime, I think we should go assassinate their aircraft carrier. The worst part? Why so, Striker? I'm not sure I understand what you mean when you say worst part. I quite enjoyed living in Canada. I mean, I quite enjoyed living in Newfoundland. The Newfoundlanders, fabulous people, gorgeous province. It's a little, I suppose it and Alberta are probably a little more unstable from a, oh my god, this team's just getting melted. From a, the perspective of, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Continued employment, because oil and gas is like that, right? It's very up and down. That's just the business. You don't have to like it, but it is so. He's behind this island, I'm telling you. Stay away from Quebec. Now, Gabe, I'm going to piss people off when I say this, but that's kind of good advice for a variety of reasons. Oh, look who I found! There he is! There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can sit this guy off the board. Oh, he's barely moving. Synop can absolutely crush this guy if he aims it right. Those are plunging into his deck. Let's see what he does. I'm getting good full pins. There we go. Triple Citadel, baby. I think I'm a little too far forward, but if I get some full pins, it won't matter. There we go. All right, goodbye, CV. Now, our CV looks like he died a long time ago. Yeah, our Ranger died a long time ago. G'day, TJ. Yeah, no, that's fair, Striker. The cost of living was a little rough when I was there already. So I feel your pain. Oh my god, we killed a ship and then they immediately killed one back. Like, this feels terrible. No, it's a good point, Caron. Like, there are certain industries that it's hard to get people and hard to keep people. So I feel you there. All right, we've got 2 Caracciolo's in this cap. The Borodino, the Bayern, and the Alabama are way too wide to be really useful. So what we need is to kill the Caracciolo's. If we can kill the Caracciolo's, we are going to be in good shape. We should send our... We should send our destroyer to Cap C. Let's see if he will do it. He says yes. He's going to go Cap C. Perfect. I'm going to dump some torpedoes up here for the Caracciolo. Oh yeah, Striker. One of the things that we noticed living up there was it was crazy. It was a little crazy. Like the standard cost of living was just nuts, man. Like the minimum wage or whatever. Now this Scharnhorst has to be a little frosty. All right, the Borodino's coming back with his radar.
A crowbar would come in handy right about now.
And 16-inch guns. So I have to stay frosty as well.
Our victory is in sight.
We can still win this game even though we're down a ship. It is still a winnable game. Problem is our 2 battleships are getting beat up. Our Magi on the 1 line doesn't really understand how to win the game. So it's going to be a bit rough out here. Now, I don't expect to do much of this Borodino. All I want to do right now is distract him. I want to get him to look over here. That did way more damage than I thought it would against the Russian battleship. Interesting. Yeah, Scharnhorst is going out. Sinop will be shortly behind him, and then we'll lose. Pretty sure we can't win the game now. All right, Benson's going to cap. That's going to help. I'm going to move south and see if I can tag team these guys. But it's going to be a 3 battleships on me fight for a while. That's going to really feel bad. Yeah, this is... I'm not convinced this is a fight that I can win over the long term, just because it's going to be a lot of 15 and 16-inch guns looking for me. I'm going to let this guy get a little farther south, and we're going to try and reset him about there. Come on, Shells, I need you to land. All right, there we go. I needed the reset. Now, let's spot somebody out here. There he is. Now, the good news for me is 2 Caracciolo's means a whole lot of SAP. And I do have some decent heals here. So, this can be made to work. But I'm going to need the Benson to cap and come back and give me a hand. We get some torps into these guys, I'm going to feel a whole lot better about my life. Don't sit in me, Borodino. That's fine. You can full pen me. I can deal with that. Yeah, they're going to form up and head south, which means we're going to have to get the Benson in here to back cap them. He's coming down, thank goodness. The other fun thing about this ship, most players don't know it has a heal. So, I'm actually, you know what? We're just now at a point where it's worth pushing the heal button. Let's do that. As long as the Borodino doesn't kill me, which he's going to try to do. He missed that salvo, so it's time to run north and get away from him. If I can bait this dude into some torpedoes, that'd be awesome. Nope, you missed that one too. Here's the good news. He's got his radar up. Let's see. He knows the Benson is there now. But does he know the torpedoes are coming? He took... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on, Benson. You got this, buddy. Land one more for me. Yes. We can still win this game, guys. We can still win this game. 20 seconds. We are going to win this game. I might actually hit that Caracciolo with 2 torpedoes that weren't even meant for him. I just dumped them in that direction. And he might still take them, and that would kill him. Come on! Yes! No! He's gonna live the jerk off, but that's alright. Yes. Abruzzi. I had somebody on the YouTube video today, I posted that Duca video, and they were like, I never see anyone play this ships. And I'm like, their loss. That's not my problem. These ships are perfectly good, man. Perfectly good ships. Oh, yes. Benson, take one of these, sir. Take one of these. Get out of here. Well done. Well done. I love Abruzzi. She is so good. So silly good. Yep, she is fun. I like this ship. All right.